Okay, from what I understand, let me turn this up so y'all can hear me. From what I understand, somebody has, weighed in. Now, I already knew that, Sakina could not, she's already been put on cinder blocks. And apparently, because to me, anybody that's going to do a complete call in to address somebody else, that means you want all the help you can get. And apparently, this is the best she could come up with right here. Somebody that don't know whether they want their glasses on or off, and at the end of the day, they can't see or read with them on or off. But they've been putting on that lip gloss so long that, they can do that even when the power is out. And apparently they need this 2 cent to try to put a deposit on to get their power put back on. Just some trash that Sakina affiliates with. I don't take any of them seriously. I don't take her seriously or the trash she affiliate with. But from what I understand, she has something to say. So let's hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear what it is that this person has to say about me. Matter of fact, I already have it saved. Matter of fact, before we even hear it, now mind you, I ain't never been here, but from the looks of it, it's just somebody else running, all kind of whatever. A fan group. Anything that's called great ain't great. Usually, if something got to be called great, that mean it ain't shit. I'm just going to tell you the truth about it. I'm sure this ain't her first channel. If it is, welcome to YouTube. I hope you get your click, your view, and your sub. Just like I mentioned in my comments, that I hope she get a click or view. Whatever it is that you're after. A lot of these women, y'all, they just like to sit around and listen to themselves talk. Because ain't nobody else going to listen to them. They have to have somebody to listen to them. And the more people, they really might as well just name it, okay, we don't have nobody else to listen to us club. And everybody contribute their little 2 cents. And if we get enough of them, if we get enough 2 cents, we might be able to come up with a $2 bill. One of those type. The kind you pass on the street, it's like they're not even there. And when they open up their mouth, it's like they want all the attention from anybody that they can get it from. So they have to weigh in on stuff. These people stick together like super glue. It's obvious they can't function without each other because Sakina couldn't even handle me without her. So I guess she feel like, okay, well, we just going to go, but I'm not going to go through the line because it's too pathetic. It's too pathetic. It's a pathetic situation. It's pathetic people all grouped together, affiliating themselves with other little groups of pathetic people. And just somebody sitting around trying to feel important about themselves. You got them. Every other town is full of them. Sitting at the bar, done bought a drink, and the drink gotta last them a whole week at the bar. Okay, now hold this now until I come back. One of them kind. Just to have a glass in their hand. The kind that's at the party that can't afford a drink, but they just walking around with a glass of water in their hand, making it look like it's vodka. One of those type. And always got to put their 2 cents in something. You know why? Because they're trying to get their light bill paid. One of those type. You see them all everywhere. They live on YouTube. And they attach themselves to nothing. They're not smart enough to attach themselves to something, They always the kind that know so much, got so much to say, but you look around at them and you see that they don't attach themselves to nothing. One of those kind, the kind that ain't really even worth a second glance, because when you look at them, it's like they're not even there. And they always got something to say because they like to hear themselves talk, because they brushed their teeth this week. See, that's why they on YouTube, to try to save up enough to get another tube of toothpaste, because they're down to the point where it's being rolled up at the end, and they know they ain't got but about 2 or 3 more squeezes with that thumb, and then it's like, one of them kind. And the thing about it is, they probably working somewhere full time. But see, they so busy trying to be more than they is, act like they more than they is, got to put their 2 cents in everything, and can't tend to their own business. So they constantly in the red. But, they too embarrassed to file bankruptcy, because see, all of that stuff is public information. But they sit around and, just look for nothings to attach themselves to on YouTube. So let's hear what she have to say. Let's hear what this, I don't even want to read it. I'm sure it's some paragraph that, she had somebody to write up for her to make it seem like, oh, hey, world, I'm more than what I was yesterday, but I'm never going to be more than what I am right now. One of them type. You see them on the jobs and on waiting at the bus stops. You see them at the car shops, trying to give it away, for an oil change. One of them type. May or may not have a man on here, really kind of like making sure that they advertising in between all these ads. But this is what they really look like on their best day. See, it's little cracks like this that I can just zoom right in. What are you doing with your money? See, you know why they want to know? Because, see, before you throw that 2 cents away, they want it. One of them kind. And they got their glasses on that day now. Because, see, they want to make sure that if that penny fall out your pocket, ain't nobody else going to step on it. And got something to say about everything, everybody, all colorful. See, it's all to be seen and heard and, recognized. They're going to have all these different weaves and all these different hairstyles. And but at the end of the day, it all comes to this. They just feast on dust. And usually that's what they get paid, dust. The only thing that won't pay them dust is nothing. And that's what they attach themselves to. But like I said, it's like, hey world, look at me. I could have been something, but I'm just going to spend the rest of my life thinking I'm more than what I am. Because there's so many, more of us out there. I might as well be the ringleader, And I done tried everything I can, every hairstyle, every lipstick color, every outfit, every no bra, no panty, no skirt. She the type that'll sit on the bus stop and she'll know that she got a rip in her pants, in her crotch, but she do it on purpose. And on that day, she makes sure she don't wear no panties. Because somebody, might throw a quarter on the ground. She'll act like she don't see it if it's somebody else sitting there. But, she'll say, oh, girl, look over there. So she always going to get her little 2 cents on something. And then she'll take her foot and put on it and then slide it over there. To add it to, this can be added to like next month's, card. And they always cooking, because see, it ain't nowhere else they can do. Ain't nobody gonna take them out because see, you got to remember they everywhere, all over social media. Please notice me. I just got so much to say about everybody, but at the end of the day, you can't never know that I'm not nothing. But somebody like me, the first thing I'm gonna do is look at who you attaching yourself to, which is already nothing. So I already know. And see, this is her on one of her best days. See, if you notice, she's showing this. She hoping somebody might, just kind of like bump their head and fall, and then her channel or just come up. You know how them phones do. You bump your head on them if you just cough on them. A lot of times they'll go to another channel. She hoping that on this day it landed, right there. And this is now, you gotta look, 9 months ago. All these different little things. Just constantly. See, on this day, she got about 3 or 4 phones back there to make it look like her electricity on, but it's really off. Now, she got 4 of her legs crossed right there. Y'all didn't know they got 4 legs, did you? Yeah, see, the ringleaders have 4 legs. Because they're not human. They walking around like cockroaches. Only thing is, hers is swole up because, see, she been running after men so much. And she can't see where she going. That's all, she spent all the time. You know what, y'all? It's just, I blink around this kind of stuff. I done seen it everywhere I done went. It's nothing, it's just like a big croaker sack of nothing. And her figure looked like that too, See, if I had to guess, she probably, been a fan of like Oprah's Diet Club for about the past, 30 years. Been eating like just the ends of loaf breads, loaves of bread, those end pieces. She just been eating the end pieces. This one of them end piece loaf bread type bitches. It ain't nothing to them on the inside. You just have to eat both ends of the bread. The ones that folks don't want. Because really those the ends that I throw out to my dogs. But see, she want them. This is the kind of bitch that she save up them ends, y'all. All year long so she can make some Christmas dressing. And she's steady looking for, see right here, she saw on somebody's panel that a penny fell out of somebody's pocket. So that's why she looking hard like that. She's trying to see. It's y'all, and like I said, look at here. Oh my God. See, yeah. See, now she's showing y'all how she got rid of them rabies in her head. Because she basically showing y'all, hey, the rabies is gone now. The soul done healed up, y'all. Because, see, they have to have something to talk about. So, see, they go over every aspect of their life. Now, believe me, y'all, she been on social media 10 years before this channel. She just figured out how to upload a video. Because, see, like I said, she associate herself with... See, the thing about it, Sakina can't get nothing from her. Because she ain't got nothing to give Sakina. So, all she have to do is just offer Sakina her little imaginary 2 cents. And, so let's hear what, y'all, let's just hear what she got to say. I'm not going to really elaborate too much on it. It's, like I said, I really have like a little, how the inside of your fingernail, all that different little crust sometime, and then it'd be one little crust that's kind of hard to get to. One of them. That's about as much as her opinion means to somebody like me. Let's see if it's gonna play. Let me go to the part of it that it say. Yeah, the idea. You know, I mean, just the idea. And see, somebody like this, she actually knows about them kids. This is the type that actually knows about them kids. That's why they get in such an uproar anytime I mention them. You know, the ones that got snatched up. She gets in the uproar about all that different stuff. That's why they have to tune in. If I had to guess, she was the very first one. Actually, I think she's probably one that probably had talked to Sakina, been talking to her all week, calming her down, saying, you know, everything gonna be all right. You ain't gonna be up on them cinder blocks for too much longer, cause I'm gonna come on here and give my 2 cents. It's just this one of them gnats, but it's one of them fat gnats that when you squat it, you gotta take a bath. One of them kind. You can't just squat it and then, you know, knock it off of you. You gotta go take a bath after you squat one of these gnats. It's one of them. I mean, you know, I really, actually what I do is I just hire somebody to come in and disinfect, you know, my whole house after something like this has even set foot in it. Cause the doorknob and the door, the walls, the floors, all of it. And you know, and they always wanna make sure that somebody hears something they got to say.
Yeah.
Oh, food smell good.
I know it's people that are coming back talking about $1,000, not $100, and then when Angel was like, "Oh, you need to give her 700 to 750 back," and I was like, "Angel, what is she talking about?" Then when I see them in the chat talking,
see, y'all got to remember, if you give Sakina some money, first thing she gonna say, "I didn't ask for it," and little do you know, you never gonna get it back. And see, she plotting scheme with her to make sure you get dragged, because see, and that way they give her a chance to put in her 2 cents on it. That's why she stay all over social media. And you know how she was able to save up 2 cents for the whole month of February to do this, I'll never know.
he told Angel, and if you
How
hear,
many subsidies do we?
uh,
This dude, oh, you can't see his subscribers. He's trying to, he's just clout chasing, trying to
What did she say? I'm trying to what? Clout chase? Okay.
build his little platform. Whatever.
Talking about the way you've been doing for the last 20 years, trying to be noticed. You done wore every hairstyle, and you done showed every titty.
Was this his only channel that he used to have?
Why you? No, don't be trying to inquire about me. I already done passed you 1,000,000 times and didn't even notice you.
Another name before this?
You see, they always cackling. You know why they cackle like that so much? Because they be hungry. It's like, well, I can't get change for a penny, so I just have to just sit around and cackle on social media for attention.
Sakina.
See, and they always want to know something, and a lot of times they ask something they already know the answer to.
had another name, but I'm not sure what the other name was, and that is what those.
Yeah, and see, Sakina just be playing her ass because she be acting like she's stupid because she from another country, and a lot of time they sit there. See, somebody like this love for whatever this big old kind of net thing. See, they love to get their claws into a big old juicy net like that. Because see, they can sit around and just act like they stupid, and then just get them to put in they 1 cent, and then scrape up another 1 cent somewhere, and then that way between the two of them they can put in 2 cent on something. Because you got to remember now, Sakina, she's smart enough. Because you got to remember, she ain't never had nothing to begin with. But somehow she done switch all this around, and between the two of them, they got 2 cent. So this is her giving her 2 cent.
Cartoons was under. Those cartoons was
Okay.
under the other name.
And listen how they talk. Like, it's such a state of emergency. You know. Ring the alarm, ring the alarm, It's a possible 1 cent over there that we missed from last year. And I'm gonna, let all of us in the, we wanna be somebody club know that, hey, there's a chance that, we might get noticed behind this some kind of way. So, they got to start all this, in action. You got to remember now, Sakina has been online for 14 hours about this. And see, between the two of them, they'll be lucky if they can get 2 cent out of that. But it's worth those 14 hours. And believe me, she want half of them hours. That's why she got so much to say.
And wherever.
See, that's why she asking. See, they sit around and they just be wanting to know every little nook and cranny of every booger in your nose. That's, because that's the highlight of their life. Ain't nobody noticing them, so, well, it took me a month to clean these boogers out of mine. I wonder how many boogers she got in her nose. They ain't got nothing to do. Y'all, you know what? Y'all ain't missing a thing. Something like this, see, it ain't a crumb in now one of them's house. Well, we already know Sakina don't have no house. It ain't a crumb in her house. Ain't no roaches in her house. She the only one there. She the only one live there. Cause the roaches know ain't no food at that house. She gonna eat up everything at that house. Mop up them floors and then wring out the mop. And then let the mop dry and then shake out the crumbs and eat them. One of them kind. The kind, the kind that just sit around and just eat boogers in the classroom. One of them kids.
The other name is evidently I couldn't say it or pronounce it. So when I does the video.
See, Sakina does that on purpose. She know how to pronounce the right word, but she had to talk like that in order to communicate with her, so she just kept on talking like that.
On it, I said, thanks to the YouTuber who does this for me. I put it up there clear as day.
I saw.
And it's such a state of emergency. You know what I'm trying to say? All of this is such a state of emergency between them. Because you heard her say she saw it. Now, she talking about something that happened sometime last year. But see, they didn't have nothing to say about it last year. But now she got so much to say. And like she said, she remember the date, the time stamp. You got to remember, Sakina done screenshotted this and, has put it in her archives. Like I said, if you make sure all your pockets are sold up, Even at your own house, somehow or another, they figures out a way that if you got any change laying around in your house, somehow or another they figure out a way. It's like they planned it all out. It's a whole complicated scheme of things. And if it just get to the point where they have to, situate it to where, okay, now we're gonna have the, we're gonna have this cute little dog, and we're gonna put some super glue up under his feet. And if there's any crumbs or any loose change in that house, and then we'll just come over and say, "Oh, did we lose our dog? Hey, Fifi." And it'll be Sakina's dog, because she's out somewhere looking for somebody to play with that dog 24 hours a day.
Lord.
Yeah, so now everybody.
And it's such a serious conversation. This is so serious. See, this is a state of emergency. This is a state of emergency. Y'all got to remember, they talking like they handle They sitting around talking like they handling international business. Like they heads of state, right? Listen to it.
It's running around on
It's like the president talking to the Secretary of State.
YouTube with this narrative, a snatch case. And I know that you deal with them, and I doesn't mean to bring it up like that, because now that, someone tell me this morning, JJ was over there making a life about it, about me snatching motherfucking kids.
But according to her, well, I want to hear what she has to say.
He put it, either he take it down or he put it on private. See what Angel's.
You see how they try to keep up with everything what you do? Like I said, they ain't got nothing better to do than sit around and try to figure out how many boogers in your nose, because they hungry.
Say she told me it was 700.
And all of this is just, ooh, y'all, if somebody might have some boogers in their nose. Because, see, all of them sit around hungry. That's why they be on here looking, if it's a penny, if it's a quarter of a penny to be scraped up on any social media, they all over it. They have connections on every platform. And like I said, she's head of this group. Like, ooh, look at me, I'm so special group. Ain't a man looked my way in about 30, 40 years, but I'm going to cross my, one of my four legs and then, ease down my little, toe top in hopes that I might get a quarter or something. One of them type, y'all. It's just nothing.
She told Miss Betty that it was $1,000. He was so.
Look at that. He and Miss Betty and she and, how many, what, how, when, how, why, when, where.
But they're saying anywhere from 600 to.
And it's somebody, it's somebody that you don't hear translating all this. All this is going to go into archives because, see, about 3-4 years from now, Sakina might need to get a receipt from this.
$900.
Wow.
And see, a lot of times they do that because, see, really, she didn't understand nothing Casina said. So they have to say wow, to kind of like make them stop thinking about food for a minute. And then they snap into, ooh, wait a minute, I forgot. I'm supposed to be, hey, notice me because, I'm wanting to be special in the world and be noticed some kind of way. So after they get it together like that, this is what they have to say right here.
Can't remember how much she said on my panel, but I know.
See, the first, if you have to listen to them because they don't remember nothing. She can't even remember the last time she found a penny. That's how they do. but yet she steady be done, scraped up every penny in that town. If it's a penny anywhere in that town she live at, believe me, y'all, a lot of times she walking around on that phone, hunting around for them pennies.
Wasn't nowhere near what you actually showed in your receipts. And she's
And believe me, y'all, all of this is important. YouTube business. You know, this is the kind of stuff that, like, they stay up a lot of times until about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, tending to all this kind of business. And at the end of the day, see, like, folks like me, we don't even give them a second thought. The average person don't. You have to look at where they come from. I mean, they have to label themselves, 2 and 3 different names all in one, because they got 2 and 3 different legs. And it's almost, it's beyond pathetic. And you have to look, if you look here, see, this is one of her, you know what? Now, it's been about 10 years, somebody gonna have to look at my bosom nights. And she got her glasses on in case somebody, in case she thinks somebody might want to see. And then she'll do a screenshot. Y'all should see the kind of stuff that they be sending a lot of these men, what they attach themselves on to. The ones what they think might have a hole in their pocket. Because see, like this, you have to remember, a lot of them sit around in the dark. Some of them can't remember if they want their glasses on or off. If you notice, see, she's in a frenzy right here. Because somebody got a cash app and she didn't get her 2 cents out of it. And everybody know her lights been out all that month. It's just all this kind of like, just a bunch of like, please world, just anybody, anything, anyhow. Make me feel some kind of way type of woman. And like I said, if she ever come to your house, have your whole house disinfected. And like I said, y'all, all this is important nonsense to them. They just, they sit up and they keep up stuff. Because they always hungry. Sakina always hungry for some kind of come up or some kind of opportunity. And then you got her waiting in the background, waiting to put her 2 cents in it. And between the two of them, because Sakina don't have nothing, and between the two of them, somehow or another they end up with 2 cents out of it, and at the end of the day, they split it. And see, if she can do that with everybody that chimes in, they might come up with a dime or a nickel for that month. It's just a whole bunch of nothing. They put in so much work, y'all. The work they put in. If I put in this work, believe me, I will have climbed the Appalachian Mountains. In the wintertime. And skied down them. And then all the snow will have thawed out. Before anybody recognized any of these, different things. Like I said, y'all, anybody they see in the magazine, they try to be. Anything, anybody, anyhow, anyway, and it's always no way, no ma'am, no thank you, no, or no. It's like they hear that all the time everywhere they go. From every man. And it's just a wasted existence. See, they sit on their renter center couches that they've been renting for about 4.5, 5 years, hoping that they'll get the opportunity one of these days to break it in some kind of way. But when that man see them big old, when that man see one of them big old legs, and then he look up that skirt and see and say, wait a minute, you got 3 more legs up there. They gone. But y'all, this is just you know what, y'all. I can just flick this like I do, you know, the little grit up under my fingernail. That's how much that means to me. And it's not even worth the flick. Believe it, it ain't even worth the flick. You know, I'll let somebody like that lick the bottom of my, you know, bedroom shoes or something like that, because it might be, you know, maybe a breadcrumb from my kitchen stuck to the bottom of my bedroom shoe. Okay? Because she was caught doing it one time. That's why, you know, in her whole town, you know, they just call her, you know, Miss Hungry 2 Cent. It's all she is. Just a big old croaker sack full of Hungry 2 Cent. Please. And they love to think you chasing clout off of them. But see, they just have to realize, you know, they have to tell themselves something. You know, to lift one another up. See, that's their motto. Okay, anybody say anything, anybody do anything, they clout chasing. But they all had, you know, it took them all about 3 or 4 months to learn how to pronounce it. Especially Sakina. Sakina had to go to a special school to learn how to pronounce it. She couldn't even teach her because she was so hungry. She was the only thing she could think to say was, you know, clit chasing. That's what she was, you know, thinking, because she was so used to thinking it was lint under the bottom of somebody's foot, and she could never get the end out, so it just turned to clit. You know, and so y'all, it's just nothing. They sit around thinking you hating, and you know, you ain't never even ate. How somebody gonna hate somebody that ain't even ate? You know, it's just what they do, y'all. I mean, you know, really, if it wasn't for this, if it wasn't for this being brought to my attention, because like I said, I heard it. I heard her say that in the bed the other night. And that's when I was like, you know what, let me just cut this off, because, you know, it ain't nothing. See, that's how men think. I knew about this 2 days ago. But after somebody brought it to my attention, and I said, well, you know, maybe I might as well go on and put a magnifying glass up under this. But I had already known about this. Matter of fact, the minute I heard her say that, I said, you know what, let me cut this off and go on to bed and go to sleep. I already knew about this 2 days ago. See, that's everybody's first response to somebody like this. That's why they on here on all the time. Look at me, I'm special. Notice me. You know? I already knew about this. This is old news. This is 48-hour news. And my reaction was just like, you know, it's a kind of understood rule. If you were born a male, when you hear somebody like, because I didn't even see it, but I mean, just hearing it, I already knew. The minute I heard her say that, I was like, you know what, let me go and cut this right on off. I cut my phone all the way off. I didn't just stop the YouTube video. I cut the phone off because I didn't want that, you know, that smell. The smell come through the phone. Y'all, I can't take it. I can't do it. I can't do it. and them headrads that they turn into t-shirts and panties and stuff. Y'all, I can't do it. Not tonight. Not today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. And it's an unwritten rule with guys. If you're born male, those are the unwritten rules. It's just an innate instinct that we have. Believe me, just like I did that, every man that was ever born a man nationwide, if when they hear or see or think of or any glimpse of or something like that, it's automatic, like not just shut off, totally dismiss, you know, and forget about it. And it was forgotten, you know. The only reason you relevant is because somebody made you relevant tonight. I just want you to know that. Because I had already followed the natural instinct of dealing with y'all. Because men don't like sitting around having hungry women trying to get to the boogers in their nose while they sleeping and stuff. You know, I mean, get real. I'm out.